Morning one and all. So I'm back out after a couple of weeks off. It took me a little bit longer to get over that most recent operation. I was tired after the last trip out, so I thought I'd have a couple of weeks at home. Yeah, I've decided to come and have a go for some winter carp. One of my favourite winter venues, London Anglers Association, Bures Dec on the Essex-Suffolk border. Beautiful morning, as you can see. Yeah, we've had a couple of hard frosts in the last week or so. It was 1 degree when I got here this morning, first light. So that's gonna affect the fishing, but I'm not catching anything sitting at home watching telly. So I knew what the weather was just like, and yeah, I thought I'd come out and have a go. Hopefully Gaz is going to be joining me sometime later today or tomorrow. I shall be here for at least a couple of nights, depending on how things go. So yeah, I'm going to go through my bait in a moment. Slightly different approach to normal over here. After the last frost, I'm not going to put a lot out, but yeah, I'll go through that. I hope you enjoy watching whatever it is I have to offer. I'm confident in getting a fish or two, but we'll see how it goes. Like I say, a couple of heavy frosts and a couple of light ground frosts as well in the last couple of weeks, so that's going to affect the fishing. And every year, the first frost of the year, which was 2 weeks ago here, I think it was -3, so that was a hard frost. That knocks the fish back a bit, but then they settle down over the next week or two. Water temperature is still 9 degrees, so as long as it's above 4, you're in with a chance of catching. Cheers, guys. Right, so this is my mix. I've got a pint and a half actually, freshly cooked hemp with a few grains of maize in it, so that whole lot's going to go in. I cooked it a couple of days ago, boiled the living daylights out of it, then put it in the freezer and took it out this morning. And yeah, it's fortunately it's cold, but it's defrosted. Then I'm going to put some SteveO micro pellet, little 2mm, and I'm going to put a good amount of those in. You can see the size of them. So I'm going to put a good few of those in. The idea is it won't fill the fish up too much, give them something to graze on. I'm going to put a handful of 10mm SteveO boilies in, literally a handful. I may top that up as we go along, just with the catapult. Then going to put, right, where are we? Some sweet corn. I'm going to crush some of that up. I've got a tin of that, so I'm going to crush some of that up. I've also crushed somewhere around some of the 10mm SteveO boilies, giving them a good crush. Again, I don't want it too big, I don't want to fill them up, so you can see it's not powder, but it's not far off it. And then just bind it together. I'm going to put a little tiny bit of this Previmi or Grimsby 66 fish meal. It's got a high oil content, so it sends out a good scent trail, a sensible amount of that. I'm then going to put a little tiny bit of black crumb, just to darken the whole thing up a little bit, because the bottom in here is really dark. Then got a handful of 8mm SteveO pellets, everything matching up. Guess what I'm going to fish on the hook? So I've got a handful of those. They're going to go in, just a few. I'm going to spod this lot out rather than putting it out in balls. I want to spread out over a big area, give the fish something to graze on. There's a lot of rudd in here, and they still feed in the winter, so not as much as they do in the summer, but a little bit of this special G. Again, it's the high oil content that I'm after. Again, putting out a scent trail. A handful of this Vitalin, or Vita Carp as we call it now. Somebody asked about me putting that in dry. The main idea behind this is, firstly, I'm here for 48 hours and I'm mixing it with my wet ground bait, and over time it'll soak and soften down. But really the reason I'm putting it out is a sight attraction. I want the fish to be able to, against the dark ground bait where I put the black crumb in, dark background, they'll see these bits of flake maize and flake wheat and barley and all that sort of stuff, the usual stuff that's in there. I think they call it Vita Carp now. So I'm going to get that lot mixed up. I'm going to put it out, like I say, I'm going to spot it out. I'm fishing probably about 6 rod lengths out where an old lily pad bed used to be. I've had a cast around with my marker float. The lily pads are well gone now. There's no signs of new shoots. That won't happen until March. So I've got a really clear bottom. If I come away from the lily pad bed, there's still patches of weed. And when you're going to be waiting like I'm going to be for a bite, probably a long time, last thing you want to do is have your bait covered in weed, because they're just going to eat the free offerings. They're not going to be rooting around like they do in the summer. So you need to make sure your bait's presented very well, and I'll go through my rigs shortly, the way I present the bait and what have you. A lot of you would have seen this before, but anyway, I'll get back to you as and when. It's a lovely morning. You can see I've got the sun on me, still only about 4 degrees though. Beautiful evening. Water's flat, calm, just like I like it. No fish yet, but I've been getting a few indications and I've seen a couple of fish, so I'll get back to you as and when. Well, that took a while. It was worth the wait. First fish, absolutely lovely condition. Mirror, not particularly big, but it's a lovely fish. Morning all. So second morning, there's a storm coming. So it's gone from flat, calm and sunny to evidently there's a torrential rain, and I'm not getting caught in that again. So it's about 9:30. I had one missed bite and one reasonable mirror, bearing in mind it's winter and we're on the back of a couple of frosts. So I'm happy with that. Hope you've enjoyed what I've had to offer. Incidentally, the missed bite and the fish both came on a 15mm cell boilie with a bit of pink pop-up corn, and I just trimmed the edge of the cell boilie. So thanks for watching as always. So yeah, I'm going to get my gear packed away before that rain starts. Cheers guys.